Hey, everybody, welcome back to another
What
episode of
up?
Cryptid
What up?
Warfare and
What up?
Conspiracies.
Podcast.
I'm Z-Baby, and we have the luxurious...
Drewski or Ski or Drew Baby or Drew Bean, whatever you want to say.
Hope you guys are ready.
We're ready.
Yeah, we've been ready for this one for a really long time. Probably even
Yeah.
before we started the podcast. Actually, yeah, definitely before we started.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about the difference between field researchers, boots on the ground, versus desk researchers or at-home researchers or chair warriors or whatever you want to call them.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just going to throw it out there. This might piss off some people, but I say both is good. You know, there's times for chair research and there's times for field research. But since I'm young, well, I'm not young, but I'm like middle aged kind of.
Oh, you're
I
young
like,
blood.
what up, young blood? I really like being out in the field. I'd rather do that than sitting on my butt. But that's just me, though. But I'm sure when I get
You never
older,
really understand something until you fully experience it firsthand as
yeah,
well. But I know some people, they're like, I don't know, they're just comfortable behind a screen. And let me tell you guys quickly, like this kind of prompted us to do this just because, a couple, I think it was a week ago, there's somebody who commented on our videos, um, basically just summing it all up. Like we were just pretty ignorant on what it was we're talking about. And then of course Drewski sent a message, and he was like, "So do you do chair research or field research?" And of course, nothing. They said nothing, but that happens a lot. Like whenever you get a lot of hate and crap, and especially in the realm of what it is we cover, people are just freaking scared, and they just feel more comfortable like start researching behind a keyboard, being keyboard like those Facebook freaking trolls. Like, they're just waiting to get you. Anyway,
yeah,
that's my little rant.
yeah. Like to me, if you're not in the game, just sit on the sidelines and be quiet. But
Yeah, like a good
yeah.
little boy.
Yeah, but other than that, like I don't know, I'm kind of just like relaying it back to like military and like law enforcement and stuff. Like it's a lot different when you do slideshows, you do studying and all that, and you do your research in the classroom on like what QCB is, what frontal assaults are. Basically, QCB is combat quarters battle. It's basically you're like room clearing with the SWAT team, or you're room clearing and all that, shooting and all that stuff, and learning how your formations are, how to button hook when you clear a room, how to run the rabbit, all that stuff. Anyways, I know you guys are gonna be like, "What the hell is that?" and start looking up stuff. But, anyways, yeah,
Well,
it's just like SWAT and like military jargon when it comes to clearing rooms and stuff like that with your weapons. But you can research all you want until you get out in the shoot house and you practice and you train for it, and then you see what methods work and what actually don't, and what looks good on paper and what doesn't. There's been a lot of things where we've studied and studied on how to do certain exfils, certain ways how to room clear a room, and we get out and do it, and lo and behold, some of those training exercises didn't work because they're old, they're not revamped, and they're dangerous. To where my partner behind me didn't go right and he was supposed to go left, and he totally sweeped me with his gun, stuff like
mhm.
that. And yeah, just all it is trial and error. How do you learn? You learn from experience. You realize what works, what doesn't. Okay, so half of the time, even the book says something, a certain book, and when you go out into the field and try to execute that, holy crap, this doesn't work because something's changed up. Okay, so then you adapt and you overcome. So, and not only that too, but talking with Nick Valente and all that, and Jessica Jones, like you got people who are in the middle too, right? Who are more chair researchers than there are field researchers, but they claim to be field researchers. So then when you get them out into a field research situation, they're not dressed for the part.
Yeah,
They
let's
need
give some examples.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so example, we've had certain people come out. I'm not going to say who he is. Will. Um,
Oops. They put a beep over that.
yeah, he wore. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna put this out to the CIA. counterterrorism and NATO and stuff like that. And when you're out in public, always wear closed-toed shoes. Always. Okay. Something that has laces that you
I
can.
honestly, even when I go to the beach, I still wear shoes.
Yeah, I
People
do
are like,
too.
"That's weird." I'm like, "Dude, you never know when you need to defend yourself."
Exactly. I do too. And or if not, I have them in my backpack. I always carry my
Mhm.
backpack with me.
Yeah, I've noticed that. That thing
Yeah,
backpack just shows up wherever you are. I'm like, "Huh, you're even in the bathroom, it's a full backpack."
it's right there. Yeah. But other than that, like, because you never know when you're going to fight, you never know when you're going to have to run. Not only that, if like a catastrophe happens, like a building falls or a fire and stuff, dude, your feet get jacked up, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. Like your fighting days are done, your survival days are done. Like if your feet are messed up, that's it. You're immobile. There's nothing you can do.
Yep,
So
yep.
when it leads back to field research, you got people out there that come in Crocs, sandals, shorts, dress and prepare for what you actually might be doing. Wear pants, wear jeans, wear closed-toed shoes, wear boots, because you never know if you're gonna freaking like bust an ankle or anything like that. Wear high top stuff because you're gonna be literally walking on uneven terrain, rocks, swamps, mud, stuff like that. And not only that, for God's sakes, work out a little bit. Go on walks. You know, all the gear you have on you, literally, here's a good way of testing your stuff. Okay, when it comes to field research. Okay. If you ever want to go out and do these things and you buy all this gear for it, set it all up on how you want it, wear it in your house, walk around with it because some things might not be comfortable, might be a little heavy, and there's a way that you can adjust your backpack. There's a way that you could, there's a way that you can lace up your boots, carry your knife a certain way, wear your walkie talkie a certain way, stuff like that. And not only that, bounce with it, like jump with it. And that's one thing you want to be is quiet. You want to listen to the things that are rattling. You want to listen to the things that are moving and shifted on your bag or on your chest rig or whatever you're carrying. And then you literally just take those down or you just subtract and eliminate. Like, okay, like, do I need 2 flashlights? It depends on the mission. Do I need like 4 magazines? It depends on the mission on how far you're going out. And not only that, if you want to keep in decent shape, wear your stuff that you're going to be rucking in, is what I call it, and go on a treadmill for like 30 minutes
Hmm.
or like walk up and down your driveway for like 5 minutes. Get used to that stuff. That's just one way just to start out.
Yeah, guys, there's a lot to take away just from what Drew said. First things first is that you don't have to freaking conquer the world when you get all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you need to work with what you have and where you're at, and in your house. That's a good idea because a lot of us live in a house. And I'm referring to like you can be an apartment or something, but just the idea. But you can just walk around, getting a cup of coffee, making coffee, put something on for a few minutes,
Yeah, I
even
know.
with the weighted vest to get you ready
Hmm.
for walking around. I mean, it doesn't have to be life altering or changing, but first need to be in shape because if let's say, I I mean, if you go out and look for cryptids, not only cryptids are in the woods, there could be freaking, not lions, what are they? Like cougars,
Yeah,
and
wildlife.
bears. Yeah, like, you guys need to be ready for that too, because I will be honest, I I love you guys, but if somebody went with us and they were 100% out of shape, let's say if they were in flip-flops, they're 300 pounds, and they clearly didn't like go hiking and stuff, and I saw a freaking like bobcat, I know my chances of survival are pretty good because I'm just gonna run, and hopefully like it won't run after me. But um, the bigger person might, they might have a little trouble. But it's the same with zombies. Like, I'm just gonna push you down. I love you to death, though. I love you to death. But yeah, something. And Drew, he's not a guy to actually just talk the talk. I mean, he walks it. And I remember one day he sent me a message, and I was so proud about myself running around my yard. And I'm like, dude, check this out. And he's like, oh yeah, check this out. And he was on his treadmill. I don't even know how much gear you were carrying, but I'm like, dude, I can just tell you were glistening and sweating,
Oh yeah.
or you were more glittering, like you were just sparkling
Yeah, that
like
was a
a
good day.
vampire in the sun. But dude, I don't even know. I didn't even know he had a treadmill, folks. But he does.
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that too, like like I said, just mentally prepare for it and like do your research and not only that, I was actually gonna get to something that was gonna go along with that. Oh crap. When it comes to that. Oh yeah, like test your gear out too, like before you
Mm,
go, and making sure that everything is good to go, like your batteries, like your tent. I don't know how many times we go out doing
oops.
research, And I always bring double of everything because I know somebody's gonna forget something, you know, all the time. And like example, like I'm gonna throw tea under the bus. I love tea. You know,
Self welcome to each other.
I told everybody make sure you know that your stuff's legit. And T's a tall dude. He's like a lumberjack. So
Oh
you
yeah.
know, he freaking brought the sleeping bag, and I don't know if he washed it or what, but he went to go in it, and he's like taller than the sleeping bag, so like his head was poking out to his shoulders, and he was freezing his butt off because it dropped like 20 degrees outside.
Oh, dude, it's
So
so cold.
yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Zook knows, and I told
Burn my heater
everybody.
I mean, burn my tent down.
Yeah, told everybody to bring a heater. But anyways, but yeah, but as far as field research and chair research, going back to that, you gain a lot more experience when you're out in the game doing this stuff. But also, too, half the time, it's also like a waste of time as well because there's been on a lot of hunts we went on. We really haven't gathered any information at all. You know, we kind of wasted material, did all this stuff. So, like I said, I'm like a bit of both. Like if I can do it, like I try to keep it even. Like I try to research a lot, chair research on my off time, and then that mentally prepares me and gets me ready for the ops that we're going into during the summer and during the winter times. That kind of preps me for, you know, mentally on what we might deal with. So keep that, in my opinion, just keep it as even as possible. Do a lot of research and then blend it into your field research, you know, because if you just do chair research all the time, like what are you going to give back to the community other than you just gaining knowledge and you're not really sharing it? Like you can gain all the knowledge you want, but you know, people are going to be like, "Have you had any experiences doing this?" Well, no, I just read. Well, I'm not going to take you seriously. Only to like an extent, you know, you can have all the knowledge you want, but the people who wrote the books and stuff like that, they've done it. They've been there. They've done it. You know, they're out there in the field and doing what they do. And but yeah, but not only that, guys, like we said, you know, just try to stay like in decent shape because it ain't like you're going into walking in 100 yards, as like Nick Valente said. You know, I don't see no Bigfoots here. Like with us and our team, like we walk in like miles. You know, and not only that, it's not just getting there; it's going back. So you know, just not only that, know your guys' limitations because there's been a couple times when I'm gonna throw Paul under the bus. I love you, buddy. Um,
We'll have to watch anything.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, what I love about it is that whenever we go out, we always like whenever we field research, we always figure out things that we could tweak, things that we can make better. Okay, know your guys' limitations when it comes to field research. Like, don't go in 100% gung ho, and then you wear out, like you totally like wear yourself out because you weren't as in good shape as you thought you were.
Yeah, and know
And
your environment too.
yes, and like do like some prep work, like eat right, drink a lot of water, you know, because the next day when you're out rucking with your buddies trying to investigate a Sasquatch or a dogman or something, like you don't want to poop out basically in the beginning of it. An example of this happened with one of our guys on our team, Paul. Like he drank a couple beers before the night. He didn't eat right, and it was like 97 degrees that day with 90% humidity. And we were out in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains and tracking some things. And well, I told Paul, I was like, "Hey, buddy, you know, take your time. You know, I know you want to run point, but just take your time." He's like, "No, I got it." So he took off. And then me and Taylor were just taking our time, listening to the environment, going. And next thing I know, I thought I heard a zombie. And I look up about 300 yards up the mountain, and it's Paul, like over, bending over, throwing up because he was dry heaving. Because one, he was dehydrated, and two, he didn't eat well. So me and Taylor had to walk up there. I got his canteen. The dude was pasty white, poor guy. So I dumped water all over his face and in his mouth, and I was just kind of mad. I was like, "I told you, man." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, bro." So Taylor's like pulled out like this like tropical Swedish fish out of his pocket. He's like, "Here, suck on this," and he shoved it in his mouth. So then I grabbed all of Paul's gear and I walked up the mountain. And I was like, "Hey, when you're good, Paul, just come up and meet us." But like I said, you know, guys, you know, just you know, along with the gear, wear the proper gear and know your limitations and test your stuff out. That will go a long way. You will be good to go before you even go on that trip if you know if you do that. So
Yeah, just as you mentioned too, guys, it's also good to double down because there's a phrase I've definitely heard Drew use, but it's you'd rather have it need it than need it not have it, and it's like that because I have a buddy, man, he just has like an extra can of gas in the back of his car, um, and you never know, like if he might break down. I mean, gas is good for quite a while. I just don't want my stuff in my trunk smelling gassy,
Hmm.
but but that's just me. Um, and I was gonna say something else, but I totally forgot what it was. I know we're gonna cover uh more of this in deeper detail with our buddy Nick. But dude's busy. So we want to get him to where we cover like cryptid safety and field research.
Cryptids 101.
Yeah, like how to be smart about it. And this dude, he lives it or lived it. So it's yeah,
He still lives it. He still lives it.
dude. I bet. Yeah, that sounds like something I couldn't really get away from. Like I don't, it's just a rush. But two, it's because you can like the idea of something, but unless you actually are boots on, or do it, then you want to. You have to have your own blood in the game instead of just being behind a screen or behind a book reading. So I don't know. I just like being on the field and writing about it too, like Jessica Jones, like um, which unfortunately it seems like some of her work like is just kind of taken from other people. I mean, maybe they don't mean anything by that, but still, she's very smart about writing out exactly what we're gonna do and stuff. And she was great to have. Like, she and it's also good to have certain kind type of experts on your team as well, because she has an expert for, like, everything. And, yeah, like, going in the cave that we went in, she had, like, a cave expert, and just in that general area that we were in as well. I mean, it's pretty wild. I was gonna say something else too, but it escapes me.
Yeah, we
And
go ahead, go ahead.
and then too, it's also really good to plan. Like, I know it happens with me sometimes. I'm scatterbrained, so um, plan ahead of time, and it doesn't. I mean, sometimes plans change, but don't let that get you down. You can still do like the rucking, like around maybe your I don't know where you live at and stuff, because there should always be some place. But I mean, don't take like your guns or anything like to a public park or anything like that. I mean, just take something of equal weight or something, put it in a backpack, just walk around for a little bit.
Yeah, and not only that, like when what Zick said to plan out and stuff, we call that orders of operation. So it breaks down like situations, it breaks down like executions on what you guys want to do. Um, you know, oh gosh, you can, all kinds of stuff and like sustenance and stuff like that. Like what like materials like you need to bring, like what you going up against, intel on what you're researching or hunting. It depends on what it is. And not only that, like there's different tools for different tasks too. Like if you're hunting a Wendigo, bring a
Oh
flamethrower
man,
and a chainsaw. Good luck.
get ready for that,
Um, and a helicopter.
guys.
If you're researching a Bigfoot, yeah, if you're researching a Bigfoot, it's a different, different tools. Like for the different, just for different constructions on what you're doing. So same thing with Dogman. Like different tools for the job as well. Like flashbangs, bear mace, stuff like that. So, you always want to tackle the animal's sensories, eyes, nose, ears. That's what makes them, like paralyzed basically. And then you can go from there. But as far as weapons wise, it just depends on the operation on what you're doing. But anything with 308 and higher, handgun, 10 millimeter, anything else will likely piss them off. But if not, if you have a team of guys, you just spray and pray.
Yeah, yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
Yeah, and also, don't be a cheapskate all the time because there are things like if it's something that could save your life, invest in it. Don't just get something from like Temu or some cheap product off Amazon, or even when it comes to ammo or even your boots, man. Like your feet are so freaking important. Like
your
you need
feet
to
are
take care of
important.
those.
Feet in your
So I
back.
mean, footwear, yeah, spend the money to get the boots.
Yeah, yeah.
And
As
break
old
in
Taylor
not
says,
on just on the mission. Like
yeah. As old Taylor says, cry once, buy once. That's it.
I
What he
like that.
says. Yeah,
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that actually says that, and then have his face plastered on it too.
there you go. Yeah, but yeah, man, you're 100% right, man. Like you gotta get good footwear because if you don't get good footwear, you're gonna get blisters and everything just sucks after that. Like I said, if your feet go out, that's it. You're done. your feet and your back. Those are two things you got to take care of: your feet and your back.
Yeah. Well, too, I mean, that even reminds me of gear that I have that I totally forgot about, but yeah. I mean, and it doesn't have to be specifically like, for for where you're going to go, and, I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but, for example, like, I have soccer shin guards, and I would wear those for mountain biking even though they're not cycling shin guards for mountain biking because they were just cheaper, but they serve the same purpose. So you can get, like, a motorcycle, what do they call, like vest or something that has, like, thick pads between it, just in case, you might fall, and that's something I actually forgot I had, but it's expensive, but shoot, if it saves my life, that'll save me quite a bit down the road.
Yeah. Also, example too. This is all on the field research part of it, like on the aspects on how to prep for it and everything. Also, too, like we had a situation on our last skinwalker hunt we were on with old Scott Juice. Um, like we said, like if before you go out on field research, you guys got to prep for it. You got to stretch, you got to walk at least around a couple miles. Wear your gear, stuff like that. Well, and eat right and drink plenty of water. But old Scott Juice kind of underestimated what we are going to be doing, and poor guy had a cramp attack in the middle of the night.
We all
So
harassed him.
we all gave him crap, but you know what?
It's so fun.
You best believe he was he's ready on this next one. So, but like I said, that's what I like about field research is that you live and you learn, and those are hard lessons, but you definitely learn and you won't forget it. Um, but yeah, but like I said, field research sometimes like the pros is that you actually have experience when things happen, but the cons are is that half the time some things don't happen, so you really don't gain any knowledge, and it's just wasted materials and wasted time. But when it comes to chair research, you're comfortable, you're in a good setting, you can get a plethora of intel from different aspects, and you can dissect it on how you want. But the thing is that you just got to take it as is. You don't know if it's a 100% true. You don't know if it's just somebody's opinion. You don't know if that person even went in the field and done this stuff. They're just basically just saying on what they think would happen. And like I said, when it comes to the workforce, you can have someone who looks good on paper, but they can't execute the job, or you can have someone who doesn't have papers, but they have experience on doing this job. You know what I mean? It's kind of like who'd you pick? You
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
But I'm not gonna lie, I like chair researching because I like being comfortable too. I
Yeah.
also have lazy days, and I just get lost in just researching. So, but that's not just cryptids. That's also with like the Bible and stuff like that too. And it's just like being a Christian too, man. You can research the Bible all you want, but if you're not out doing work for God, you know, you're just basically just filling up your cup, and you're not dispersing it out and blessing people. And what did God say about the people who had the talents, right? This dude had 5 talents and he turned it into 10. This guy had 3 talents and he turned it into 5. And this guy had 1 talent and he didn't do anything with it. And God rebuked him because he's like, you are not going out there and doing my work, even though I'm blessing you.
Yeah, and he took that guy's talent, and then he just,
Yeah,
I think, divided amongst the others.
exactly. So, biblically wise, if you want to go about it, you know, you got to do both. You can't just sit back and just collect all this research, man. You got to be out there doing stuff. Just saying. I'm
Yeah,
just
too,
kind
it
of
makes me think of a doctor. I mean, would you trust a doctor who just did nothing but read books?
exactly
And I'm not talking about a psychologist, I'm talking about, like, an actual doctor who
like
does
like a
surgeries.
freaking like brain surgeon, a heart surgeon. Like I've
Yeah.
done 20 years of research. Have you done it? No.
"Oh, wait,
Oh,
what's this thing? It's moving. Oh, that's just my brain."
yeah. Or a
Pump the
guy
blood
who's
in and out.
had, or a guy who's done heart surgeries for 20 years, but he doesn't have the papers, but he's done it. Like if you look at it during like end times or survival situations, like I'm gonna want the dude who has experience, man. That's all there is to it.
Mhm. Shoot. I think we covered, like, quite a bit, material. Do you have anything more?
Oh, look for all you chair warriors out there or researchers. I love you guys. I get a lot of intel off you guys, but don't harp on the guys who field research, and because their experiences. aren't what the books tell you. Everybody's experiences are different. Everyone has a different totality of circumstances, and the context is different with everybody. So, you know, don't judge it unless you're in the freaking game doing it too. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a right at the table. You don't even have a chair at the table to talk. You're just in the back, just sitting looking. Okay, that's all you're doing. But also, too, field researchers too. Like, don't harp on the people who are doing research for you and you're gaining information and intel off of, because they're gaining a lot of knowledge too. But everyone's got to be cognizant and play the game right. Everyone's got to love on each other and just help each other out. That's all it is. We're all in the same game together. Instead of being enemies, let's just help each other out, because we're all in the purpose of proving that cryptids are legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're here for. We're here to prove to the world that cryptids are legit. So, instead of being enemies, let's help each other out. And can you imagine if we did that, how much more we would gain? How much more proof we would gain?
Yeah.
Help each other out, man. Just like police officers, just like SWAT, just like military. You have your intel guys and you have your field operations guys, and when they meet together and they come together, they do extremely extraordinary things.
Mm-hmm.
We can do the same thing. That's all I got.
Oh man, well, you killed it. You did an awesome job. um, yeah, guys. I know this is a pretty short one, but I mean, there's going to be a whole lot more of things related to this, because we'll talk to more experts and have them on the podcast. We want us to talk to experts. I mean, we're experts at this, but we know we don't know everything. So always know you're not going to be. If you're always the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong place. You always want to have somebody smarter with you, because
Exactly.
we all can learn in the game together, and stuff happens. So yeah. With that, yeah, you guys have an awesome day, and yeah, just send out some love today. So if you ever sent like any hateful comments or something to somebody who's been like on the field doing research, or vice versa, you say, hey, sorry, then just take a quick response or something. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for this one.
But other than that, if you guys are incapable of doing field research, just try to learn from the people who are doing field research, or people who are just doing straight field research. Try to learn from the people who are doing just research. You know what I mean? Just try to have an even key of both. So other than that, for all you guys who are out there, be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe. And also, don't go by yourself. Don't go into teams of 2. Go with at least 5,
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
never freaking know. Not only that, I always run with teams of 5, or if not 7. Because coming from these critter hitters that are experts, that's what they say. Number 1 rule: always go with 5, at least 5, because you can help each other out. If someone gets hurt, 3 can stay back, 2 can go back for help. It don't matter. Vice versa. Just be smart, bring the right tools for the job, prep and plan, because luck favors the prepared.
Ooh, nice way to end it.
So that's all I got.
All right, guys and gals. Well, till next time, CW Fighters. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.